Hello, Elimination. We start this program with something to help you get a handle on your health. Support comes from Brickhouse Whey Protein. Now, I've tried plenty of protein powders over the years, and honestly, most of them didn't do squat. No extra muscle, no more energy, no better workouts, just chalky shakes and disappointment. The doctors at Brickhouse Nutrition explained why. Poor quality protein and cheap fillers like maltodextrin, soy, corn syrup, sodium, and cellulose. That's why they created Brickhouse Whey, bioengineered by doctors, not marketers. This is real science you can feel working. It's clean, highly bioavailable, delivers protein level muscle growth, a leaner physique, rapid recovery, and zero bloating because it's lactose free. Now, if you've been sabotaged by junk protein, switch to Brickhouse Whey. Guaranteed results or your money back. So go to thenewway.com and use the promo code LEMON for 20% off. That's promo code LEMON at thenewway.com. We start off something with a healthy something today. Someone who doesn't need any. She's so healthy. She's so gorgeous. She is, I don't know, the picture of health and beauty. Jennifer Welch is here. Jennifer, I got to tell you, I'm a little tired. I'm not hungover, right? But I'm a little tired. I went to a movie premiere last night, and I got in late. My mom's in town. She rode the subway for the first time. She got to hang out. She got to see Spike Lee and and all the folks from the movie, Spike Lee's new movie, High to Low. So it was good. And I had a little cameo in there. So she was like, oh my God, there's my son. So I'm a little tired this morning. Can you tell?
I think you look great. We were just talking about Lemon Nation before we came on, Dawn's new skincare regimen. And I just think it looks fabulous. I think you look great.
It is Beauty Stat. So the guy who did Hailey Bieber's, that $1 billion thing that she got, right? He's a chemist, and I had him on. I knew him. My husband has known him for longer than I have, and we've become friends. And he said, we need to do a skin thing with you because people cannot believe that you're 30. You look 20. So, and so I've been using Beauty Stat, the stuff from Beauty Stat, and then a little bit also of Jones Road, which is what's her name, Bobby Brown's. This is a new thing that Bobby Brown does, but it's just really, really great stuff, but mostly Beauty Stat stuff. And it's good. I am not shaved. This is me. There's no makeup. There's nothing. It's just me.
We have a saying in the South, and you probably know this, Dawn, you'd look good sitting in the barrel of a loaded shotgun.
I love you so much. There's so much shit to talk about, Jen. By the way, Jen is one of my favorite people in the whole world. I guess you guys know that. Someone said one of my favorite white chicks. She's just one of my favorite chicks just in general. She is my blue-eyed soul sister. So, Jen, you doing okay over the past couple of days? Because you went viral.
Yeah, I did go viral. And you know what? I'm doing great because when you see all of the people who are getting picked on by this administration message you and support you and say, thank you, I feel seen. And then you see the bullies get triggered and have stage 5 meltdowns online because they were called out for being racist and boring and having no culture, then you've done something right. And you get to be, I'm 51 and my give a fuck meter is broken, Dawn. I really don't give a shit anymore. So you want to come at me. I don't care because I'm going to stand on business and I'm going to fight for all of the people in this country that are getting picked on and bullied. And we are going to have to band together, and they want us to, curl in the fetal position and be triggered. But they're the titty babies. They're the ones that are triggered by a 51-year-old white podcaster in Oklahoma City, and you're going to have a stage 5 meltdown. Let's review all of the people that MAGA's scared of. Drag queens, right, gay men, trans kids. Now they've moved, Black people, of course, immigrants, of course, and now they've moved on to the white liberal woman. Can you imagine waking up every day and you have this list of people that you can get triggered by? What a bunch of babies.
Yeah, you're right, Jen. And since I've known you, I've said, and before I knew you, and I would just watch it, be like, this lady or these ladies, you and Pumps, you guys can say things that that would come out of my mouth and it would just hit different. You know what I mean? It would just be different. And you say things. I'm going to play what Jennifer said, and I'm going to ask her why she said it. But here is Jennifer Welch. This is the moment that made her go viral recently. Here it is.
Had it with white people that triple trumped.
Yeah.
That have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And if you want to triple Trump and you want to browbeat DEI and you want to browbeat gay people and you want to browbeat black people as you've been doing for 400 years. And you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Cankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
Jen,
I ate, baby. I left no crumbs. No crumbs. Here's what's so funny, and you can probably relate to this. So we record I've Had It, which comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we do iHip News, which is like your show here where you drop, 2-3 times a day. So, you shit talk. We're podcasters. We get to report on the news mixed with shit talking. That's the way people receive their news now. So that was on I've Had It. And I forget about all the shit that I say, right? And then Kylie, our producer, makes all the social media clips. So I see it and I'm like, oh God, I was really, really wound up that day. Well, and we're always bashing Trump. We're always bashing MAGA supporters. Some goes viral, some doesn't. But this just went viral, and then it went more viral. And then like people are texting me, you're on the front page of Drudge. And he's like, has it highlighted in red. And then of course, Fox News, wall-to-wall coverage. Last week, Sydney Sweeney. This week, a 51-year-old podcaster from Oklahoma City. Like, that's how desperate you are not to report on what an abject, miserable failure Cankles McTaco tits is, you fucking losers. Like, seriously, your wall-to-wall coverage of me yesterday, like that's your newsworthy. Like, oh my God, look at the liberal white woman that stands up and fights for other people. It's so foreign to them.
Yeah.
It's such a foreign concept.
Why'd you do it? Why have you had it, so up to here right now? Because I've had it up to here for a long time, as you know, but this whole thing now with having Epstein derangement syndrome, trying to do everything he can to distract people from his name being in the Epstein files, and that his own, FBI agents redacted his name, and, him taking people off of the street without due process, and defying federal judges, and disrespecting women and people of color. What made you go off this time?
So I'll tell you, I went to dinner with my family to a Mexican restaurant in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma's a red state. The city's purple, like probably 50-50. So we go with my parents, my youngest son, my husband, and the restaurant is packed. And this lovely Mexican family owns the restaurant. They are all immigrants, and they really I love this particular Mexican restaurant because like when it's Pride Month, they decorate the entry with flags. And I just think, these are, I stand with these people. Like, I love this restaurant. They came over here, they opened their business. So we're sitting there and my son says to me, look at all the MAGA people in here. And I scan and I was just like, oh my God, you are so right. And, you can always see they might not have on the MAGA hat, but you see the MAGA coded merch where they have on you have the faded black American flag, or they got an eagle on their shirt, or a grenade. Like, look, I'm a big boy. I'm in the MAGA coded manosphere world. And all of them are like that. And I thought, isn't it interesting that all these people have no problem coming in here and enjoying the work of these immigrants, and then would also have no problem if ICE came in here and raided Like, it really sat with me and it bothered me, and then I go to a manicure pedicure place I've gone to for 15 years, Vietnamese immigrants, and I love these ladies. I know every single one of them, their first name. I know their kids' names. And then I see these white women that I know that triple trumped, that go to Bible study, that have a gay hairdresser, that listen to Candace Owens to make them feel a little bit less racist. And they go to this, Vietnamese nail salon. And it's just like this cherry picking of what they want to support and how it relates to them. And I believe that I'm starting to really see there's this sense of ownership that white people have towards Black people, towards immigrants, that you're here to serve me, that your
Mhm.
service is all about providing for me. And I remember, and this always stuck with me, Laura Ingraham said about LeBron James, shut up and dribble. And that always really, really bothered me, that he could play basketball for you, but he can't have a political opinion. And that just has always stuck with me. And now it's just on steroids.
But Tim Tebow can have a political opinion,
Of
but Colin
course.
Kaepernick can't. Tim
Right.
Tebow can, pray or kneel in the end zone, but Colin Kaepernick can't kneel for, the national anthem. I mean, it's just total hypocrisy. Jen, I'm so glad that you said that, but I think we kind of live parallel lives. This is where, in the town that I live in, there's this restaurant, and I'm generalizing here. I don't give a fuck though. But our little town is just so quaint and so authentic, and it's just sort of blue collar people, right? And then they open up this fancy restaurant that everyone comes in from Southampton to go to, and they're all like Trumpers and whatever. And the last time we went there, Don Jr. was there. And
No.
Don Jr. and Kimberly Guilfoyle and some other people, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's." And it's like really nobody from our little town. It's like people who come in from outside, and we're like, "This is not Sag Harbor. Why is this restaurant here? Why are these people here?" And so we stopped going because it was just like it's not our thing. And we found another restaurant, and then the other day, Howard Lutnick was there. And I'm like, "Oh my God!" So I have no patience anymore for people, you call them triple Trump, but just for people who are supporting in the administration of or supporting authoritarians, supporting racism, supporting bigotry, supporting misogyny. I just can't. I mean, pretty soon I'm going to lock myself in my house, but I can't do it anymore. And people are normalizing it, and it's okay. Oh my gosh. There were people there who were like, look, oh my God, it's Don Jr. In the meantime, the folks at our table were like, gross. Can we get our check? We want to get the fuck out.
Exactly. And that's a normal response, but the normalization of the daily racism, the daily homophobia, the daily sexism. Like Trump made a statement, I think last week about, when he says inner city and when he says thugs, his base and all of us know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about Black people. And that MFer had the audacity to stand in his press conference yesterday, Don, and sit there and talk about crime in DC when he has 34 felonies and is on an absolute crime spree. And that's before I even get to what I consider a horrific crime of interior design. And that is the absolute shit show of gold vomit wannabe Marie Antoinette that's going on in the Oval. But the fact that this man came to DC and pardoned all of these white criminals that wanted to hang the vice president, that took a shit in the Capitol, that beat up cops, that called Black cops the N-word, and he comes and pardons all of them. And then he has the audacity to talk to us about crime. And legacy media, Don, they should immediately interrupt the press conference
They
and say,
don't.
we want to remind everybody that he is a convicted felon and he pardoned convicted felons. And they don't do it. The complicity is abhorrent.
I'm so glad you said that, because I said that yesterday. You must be, you watch me, or you just channeling me, or we're on the same wavelength.
We're soulmates, Don.
Yeah, let me remind you, this man is a criminal. He's a convicted criminal who would probably be in jail right now if he were not president. That was the main reason he wanted it so badly, is so that he could stay out of jail. And he has the nerve to tell people, to say, we're going to lock up criminals. He said the homeless people have to leave, which he means out of sight, out of mind. That's a whole nother story. But then he says the criminals don't have to leave because we're going to lock you up. We're going to take you away. And I said, well, what about you? And then also, what about the criminals, Jen, who defaced the Capitol on January 6th? When he was talking about graffiti on the walls and all of that shit, I was like, what about the people who spread their own feces on the wall of the Capitol, the people who urinated in our Capitol, that you pushed them to go there to do it, and then you pardon them? So what about those criminals? It's just total fucking hypocrisy.
It's total hypocrisy. And I always think about this all the time. Had it been 95% Black people that did that to the Capitol, I think we can all imagine how quickly the National Guard and whatever other, at the president's disposal would have acted. And then this pardoning situation, if any other president did this, MAGA fancies themselves the party of law and order. But it seems to me that they are the party of crime, and then they cherry pick who is the criminal based on who can kiss Donald Trump's ass the most. And he is so wildly insecure. And all of these, completely deranged felons from January 6th, he lets completely out of prison. And everybody we're all still going along like, oh, the president's going to be tough on crime. And it's just like, what are you talking about? He's a criminal. He's surrounded by criminals. All of the people at the White House. I think that Elon Musk probably, my opinion is, he committed crimes when he came in with Doge, and he shut down more than 16 investigations into himself or his companies. That can't be legal, can it? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just an interior designer. But, the moral rot and the moral decay that this country keeps moving in is terrifying. And I feel incredibly stressed for all of us, and especially the most marginalized, because at the end of the day, this MAGA movement is an attack on poverty, an attack on poor people. And that is who they're targeting the most with all of this anti-abortion stuff. I think they're going to hear gay marriage again now, and that'll probably go back to the states. And so if you have the money and you can travel, you can get health care, or you can go get a marriage license in another state. But if you're poor, you can't. And this party that claims to be, all about Christian nationalism is the opposite of all of it.
Uh-oh, did I lose Jen? Is it just me?
No, I can hear you now.
I
I think we just had a little,
but maybe it's just, we had a little bump. Yeah. Finish your thought. We're back.
Yeah, I know that everybody's so stressed, and I get so stressed sometimes, and I'm sure you experience this too, Don, and I'm sure people in Lemon Nation, you wake up, so I'm sure like, oh my God, like, are we going to make it through? And then this weird thing happens where you go to a restaurant, you see your friends, and your life feels kind of normal. But I think that's the way. Do you know Ruth Ben Ghiat? She's like the professor about dictatorships from NYU. It doesn't happen like dictatorships don't happen overnight. They happen slowly. So your freak out, Lemon Nation, and the feelings of despair you feel are really, really real.
Jen, I don't want to upset you this morning because I know that you're an interior designer, but I want to put a couple pictures up and let's see what you think about. Let's throw one up, because I think this should be in, I think, Elle Decor or, Architectural Digest, or what the fuck is this?
Okay. This to me, like he's like a little crackhead. McHenkel's taco tits. Okay. He's a little crackhead that he sits around. And I think my take on him is he acts like a man that got a day pass from the memory wing of a nursing home. And he sits around in the White House and he cannot focus on policy. He's not interested in that, you guys. He's not interested in anything. And then his sycophants go over to France. Steve Witkoff, I think his name was. And he is in the Palais Élysée. And the French can do this properly, and they do it the right way. They invented this gold leaf shit. This is not gold leaf. I believe this is plastic. spray paint
Home
bullshit.
Depot.
It is total Home Depot. But anyway, one of his sycophants says to like all of these French people, oh, you know, the president's really into interior design and really into architecture. If you notice everything they do for this guy, it's set up like a kindergarten class. Like, here's your coloring project. And so the Oval Office is his coloring book. Oh, today we're going to do show and tell with executive orders. And he holds them up, you know, and he spans them around. And then I don't know if you saw him a couple days ago, he was sitting at the little desk with everybody surrounding him and the optics of that. Everything is set up for this guy like he's in elementary school. And here's my thing, Dawn. And we have to talk about this fucking aspect of this. All the MAGA men are all about, we're so masculine. You know, we're alphas and Democrats are betas and they're pussies and all this shit, right? So if Donald Trump is your alpha MAGA, that's your guy. Every single one of you are bending and following him as a beta. Because if you look at like Scott Jennings, 2 years ago had moral clarity on January 6th. Now it's just a little dust up at the Capitol. Marco Rubio, all of these guys. Oh my God, look at the crown molding up there, you guys.
Jen, this is the thing. I always say that, look, nothing against poor people, but this is what I think. Oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, this is so bad. This is what poor people think of rich people are like, right? This is like their version of a rich person. This is some tacky, gross shit. If someone did this to my house, I would tell them, I would ask them for my money back plus more so that I could get this shit out of here. This looks like some gaudy person who lives, I'm not going to say the neighborhood here in New York City, but there's a lot of gold leaf in some neighborhoods. It's just the worst. What the fuck?
Let me say this. This is what I call, I've been an interior designer for 25 years. This is what I call inferior desecrating. Instead of interior decorating, this is inferior desecrating. And if you look, I want you to look at the door and you see the gold medallion on the top of the molding. It exceeds the reveal. It's not even good. Secondly, gold leaf is not this bright. This is not real gold leaf. It's not this bright. What the fuck does he have a cherub? See that cherub? Why did he have to bring that cherub into this thing? I mean, what are we doing? This cherub is in there catching a stray. Like, what the hell is going on that he's got a little cherub up in there, Dawn?
It's awful. I mean, to me, I thought this was a joke when I saw it, but it's actually, this is real. Is there another picture? Isn't there something like behind the door or something? There are more pictures. What the fuck? Oh my gosh. Can you go back to the one with Joe Biden? Look at the Joe. Look at this. Look how simple. And I'm not sure what era. What would you call this era? Is this like Louis something? What is it? It's just early American classic, whatever.
All the gold stuff I think is like Louis the 14th. But you know, the White House before was just kind of traditional. It always been what I call this classic traditional American decor, which is kind of appropriate. You know, we're not known for, the French are kind of, you go to the Palais Elysee, the French are known for this. The Italians have their own take, the Greeks, et cetera, et cetera. The Americans aren't really known for this. It's simple, colonial. And what Donald Trump is doing here is, to me, it's like all of this, I'm just going to go and say it. We're compensating, Dawn. I mean, everything I see them do, we're compensating.
You mean overcompensating for a small penis? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I thought that when I saw the airplane, I was like, what is the need for that airplane to be right there? Like, that's some overcompensation shit. What about these big, tall, like things in the back and the candlesticks or whatever the fuck that is? Like, what is that? Again, I think that the one with Biden is just so classy and neat and clean. I love the lamps. I love the busts of, you know, King and Kennedy, and everything, even the proportions are beautifully. And then here's what people who don't understand interior design and art do. So they think they have a bunch of money, so they throw a bunch of art pictures on the wall, or sometimes very expensive art, and they just clump it all together. Yeah. Like, leave some fucking wall space. so that someone can stand back and take a look at the picture. I can't even look at these photographs. It's an assault on my eyes. I'd rather look at the actual painting instead of the frames that are just, glaring at me. It's like, get that big, ugly fucking frame out of there. What are you doing? The frame is overshadowing the beautiful painting or portrait of, the former American presidents.
Well, and then just look at, do you see the molding that's just attached to the wall for no particular reason that flanks the fireplace? Like this is where we just get into just gold leaf crackhead situation. That's what we have going on here. This is his coloring book. We're dealing with an 85-year-old toddler that reportedly wears a diaper. Okay. We've all seen the cankles. All right. We've all seen the dementia on full display. Yesterday, he said he was going to Russia twice. He's going to Alaska. We all saw him bop around on stage for 45 minutes listening to opera with Christy Nome, the puppy killer. And so I think they have to have projects for this toddler-like intellect of this man. And so it's like, okay, you can work on this. All right, we're going to let you do your little patio. We got your little patio project. Oh, you want to build a ballroom? Okay, honey, that's good. Now we've got some more executive orders. Meanwhile, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and all these really, really evil people, Project 2025, they are going to plow through all of this racism, all of this sexism. The Secretary of Defense, Don, retweeted a tweet that calls for the overturning of the 19th Amendment. Yeah. We're all just sitting here like it's just normal government. I mean, this is bananas. So I understand why they're giving him all these projects and telling him he's so good at it, because there's some evil fuckers behind the scene that are doing a lot of evil shit. And they see that Trump, he's quacking like a duck. The aforementioned cankles, he's how old? 90, 95, somewhere in there. And this is not going to last very long. And people are seeing beyond MAGA. And so they've given him these little art projects and little vanity projects to keep him occupied while they really set up some fuckery for all of us.
All right, Jen, I want you to stand by because I have one more thing that I want to talk to you about, because you've gone viral and you have really pissed off the conservative media, okay? But first, we need a break so that we can talk about our sponsors. We're so glad to have our sponsors. So support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Delete Me. We live in a world where your personal data has become a commodity, okay? Your name, your phone number, your social security number, your address, even your family members' information, all are being bought and sold online without knowing. So that opens the door to identity theft, phishing, harassment, and worse. As someone with a public profile, I take privacy very seriously. I've seen friends harass and dox. Once that happens, you can't really unring that bell. That's why we use Delete Me. That's why you should use Delete Me. They make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your private information from the web. Right now, you can get 20% off of your Delete Me plan by texting Don to 64000. That's Don to 64000. So protect your data and your peace of mind. Message and data rates may apply. Also, support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from BetterHelp. Okay? These days there's so much advice out there, from everything from cold plunges, you get gratitude journals, you get detoxes. But how do you know what actually works for you? How do you know that? So when I started therapy, it cut through all the noise for me. I had someone listening, I had someone guiding, I had someone helping me figure out what to do next. What was the next step? Even things that I did not realize that I was carrying, it helped me. So therapy can help you as well. All right. BetterHelp offers over 30,000 licensed therapists that have helped over 5 million people worldwide. It's easy. You can connect with a therapist at a click of a button, switch at any time, fit your sessions into your schedule. 4.9 star rating out of a 5.0 on their app store. So find out what will work for you. Our listeners get 10% off of their first month at betterhelp.com/DonLemon. That's betterhelp.com/DonLemon. Thank you to our sponsors. Back to Jennifer Welch. Jennifer, I believe in some therapy, baby.
Oh, I do too.
You are my therapy as well.
You are mine too.
Jen, I asked, so don't get mad at me, people, when you see this, because I asked Jen if it was okay if I could play this, okay? Because I want her to be able to respond to this. First of all, let me just tell you, Jen is a beautiful woman. But this really disturbed me that this was happening. I want to play a couple of things, and then Jen gets to respond. So the first one, the shorter one, here it is.
Could have voting data right in front of her that she will completely deny.
Yeah. Well, she's in a tricky position, though, with demographics because her face identifies as a Brazilian butt lift. There's been a lot of injections. So I don't know if that makes her American or trans something. I don't know. But she was so like, if you believed in climate change and that toxic plastics were the problem, like she was the root of all evil.
Yeah.
That face was concerning to me.
Yeah. Never mind the melting ice caps like that. It's like, whoa, yeah, maybe we should get off the plastics and just go right to glass.
Okay, all right, I've had enough. Okay, so these two people, do they have mirrors? Especially that guy. I mean, they can't find anything to attack you on substance, right? On content, on policy. So they attack you personally. By the way, look at Jen. She's a gorgeous fucking woman. Are you kidding? And I'm sure they would kill to be. I've seen Jen. She's in great shape. She looks great in, she loves Celine, by the way. She looks great in her Celine. So Jen, when you hear that shit, what do you think?
You know, if I was younger, that might hurt my feelings, but I'm 51 years old. It doesn't hurt my feelings in the least bit. And I'm a big believer in this. I put myself on this stage. I consciously made a choice to put myself on this stage. I made a choice to say what I said. I made a choice to stand with the people I stand with. I made a choice to browbeat the shit out of these racist MAGA fuckers. And being a big girl, I'm going to get some backlash from that. And I'm not, unlike MAGA, I'm not going to sit around and play victim. You want to pick on me? Pick on me. Do it all you want to. I'm fine with it. I don't give a shit. It doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't change the trajectory of my day. If anything, it makes me realize what abject, pitiful titty babies these people in Fox News are, that they are constantly triggered. And now they're triggered by a white woman. And you want to say that I've had some Botox? Guilty as charged. You should see what I look like without it. This is better. And so I'm 51 years old. I popped out a couple of kids. I play tennis every day, and I will continue to slay these racist fascists. You can pick on me all you want to. It doesn't hurt my feelings in the least bit.
Yeah. On more, because I think this is supposed to be a comedy show. I don't know if it's a comedy show, if it's the 5 o'clock show that they do. But here's one more.
I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel. And get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. And get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel.
So, Greg, Dana makes a great point, as always.
Yes,
She calls herself a Bravo star. She doesn't even have a Wikipedia page. Who is this ugly bitch? I don't, because I had to look her up. I never heard of her before.
No, who is this ugly bitch? I mean, I've never heard of her. I watch some Bravo, and I mean that seriously. I don't know who she is. She's like 95% plastic. If you had to throw her away, you'd have to put her in the recycling bin with the cans and the bottles. Can you imagine if we treated liberals like that, demanding that if you're going to support getting kids sterilized or let rapists walk free, you should not be allowed to enjoy peace or prosperity in your city. Get your bony, gross butt to Baltimore. And it is a weird way to support minorities.
They do treat liberals like that. They do say shit like that all the time. And the first guy with the hairline that was back to here, and then the other guy, the short one, Greg Gutterman or whatever's Gutterfeld, whatever his name is. Really? We need to get these people some mirrors again. Go ahead.
All right.
Jen.
All right. Here's the fundamental problem with Greg Gutfeld. Focus on the word gut. Number one, their researchers did a terrible job. We haven't been on Bravo since like 2019. They failed to mention that we right now have a top 10 podcast in the country named I've Had It with over 1 million followers. So their research from there is faulty. Secondly, Greg Gutfeld, the pink arm, teeny weeny piece of shit that I'm talking about extends to you because you have covered me before. When I eviscerated Rahm Emanuel, you were like, who is this woman? So I think the dementia that happens at the top of the ticket with Donald Donald Trump. I think it's trickle down incompetence, trickle down memory loss, trickle down teeny weeny energy. So maybe you should go back and watch some of your own Fox footage, because you also covered me when I interviewed Kamala Harris. And so you've covered me 3 times. But I think when you live in the MAGA bubble, you just wake up every morning and you say, oh, what's Kankles McTaco Tits going to tell us to talk about today? And then you just go along with it. So Fox News, anybody, Dawn, anybody who watches Fox News is openly telling all of us that they're a fucking moron. And here's why. They had to pay $1 billion for lying, $1 billion in damages. If you have to pay $1 billion for lying to people every day, Dawn, as much as I love you, I'm probably not going to watch you anymore. That's just what normal people would do. But these people tune into Fox every day because they want their bias confirmed. They want their racism confirmed. They want permission structures to be pieces of shit, and Fox News makes them feel better about it because they have the same brains and the same bodies that we do. They're of the same species that we are. There's a little something somewhere in their head that says, this isn't right. And out of all the shit that I've said, and I shit talk all the time on the internet, this one triggered them so much. And why? Because I called them out for their moral duplicity. They want to watch basketball. They want to watch football. They want to go eat the Mexican food. They're like, I have to say that the good liars, the guys online, DeVrom texted me yesterday and he said, keep the Mexican food, deport the Mexican. And that's, that's what they want. They'd be just fine if the Mexican food restaurant was still there with all the same recipes with white people. And they fucking know it. The reason they were triggered by that, Dawn, is because it's true. The reason why I'm not triggered by them calling me ugly and all of those things is because I don't think I'm ugly. I like me and I'm okay with that. And I don't care what MAGA people think about me. So that's why I'm not triggered by what they say. But the larger question is, why are they so triggered by what I say? Because it resonates with them. And so and I get that. And that's the beauty of being 51 years old. You see that crystal clear. And I will die on this hill and I will always fight this fight and stand on solid grounds with all of the Black and brown people, the gay people, the trans community. I want to sign up for drag queen story hours and I want the drag queen to be Black. I want to love and support all the people that these people are picking on so much, because my life is infinitely better as a white American because of all the color and spice that multiculturalism brings to it. I can tell you this much, and you'll get this, Dawn. So my youngest son played AAU basketball. And when he played school ball, all the kids were white. But when he played AAU basketball, all the kids were Black and maybe like 2 kids were white on the team. So when I would be with all the white parents, when he was just on the all white team, you'd be like, oh, good job. Way to go. Good layup. When you're at the AAU and you're sitting with all the Black moms, now that shit's fun. They are trolling the refs. They're like, bottom line, ref. Who you working for, ref? And it's just a million times more fun. It's just a million times better. And I'm forever grateful for my kids playing sports, that as a white woman that grew up in suburban white world, that I have all of these friends of color now, and that I can acknowledge that their experience raising a son in the United States is different from my experience raising a son. That one of my friends, Monique Alexander, had to tell me one day, and by the way, her son's in the NBA right now and he made straight A's. But when our sons were in high school together, she was on the phone with her son, Trey. And she said, honey, if you walk to McDonald's, just make sure you don't have your hoodie on. She hung up the phone and I said, Monique, why did you tell Trey not to have his hoodie on? It's freezing outside. And she said, because he's Black. He can't walk down the street with a hoodie on, Jennifer. And I felt that because I've never, ever, ever had to tell my white sons that they can't walk down the street with a hoodie on. I've never had to tell them how to handle a routine traffic stop. And that is injustice and that is unfair. And it's going to take allies acknowledging that. I'm no better than Monique. I'm no better of a mom than Monique. So why the two separate conversations? Because the system is set up for people like me and my sons, and not for people like Monique and her son. And I see injustice and it makes me angry. And I want to stand up for that. If they want to call me ugly, you want to call me plastic, you want to, call me an ugly bitch, swing for the fences. Greg Gutfield, you're no prize yourself. But I would rather be on this side of history than that side of history.
Greg Gutfeld looks like a gnome. I'm just saying, how dare he? Look, I think that, Jen, I honestly, when you're saying this stuff, it brings tears to my eyes because it's not, even as adults, people don't realize how our country, just how the unconscious bias that we have. You can say things, I always said, you can say things that I can't, because they're not going to call you a racist. They're just going to attack your looks. Right. But for me, it's racist. It's, people will start coming in, race hustler, or cancellation, or fire. Get him off of the network, if you know what I'm talking about, because you can't say shit like that. But then there are people who are on the other side that they pay and promote to say things that are sexist, racist, homophobic, just small-minded, evil shit, that not factual. And it's just, but people don't realize that the system, that is how the system is built, especially right now. That's why I don't trust, I hate to say it because I came from there. I don't trust the mainstream media anymore. I can't even watch it anymore. It grosses me out to even watch. I can't believe no one asked about Epstein. The last question yesterday was if someone screamed out about Epstein. No one mentioned January 6th yesterday as far as criminals. No one mentioned that he was a criminal himself. Like, no one mentioned that in that press conference. And it was just shocking to me. So anyways,
I agree with you, Don. And I think your point about voices like yours being squashed down in corporate media and not providing space for that, but then allowing the space for somebody with the same skin color of you to provide cover for country club Republicans that watch Fox News when they're not beating off to their stock portfolio, so they feel a little bit better about being racist. And I know these people, I know them in polite circles. They will never admit to triple trumping, but they did it every single time because in their core, they're either racist or they're okay with racist. And I think being okay with racism is almost just a little bit worse.
Yeah. And because they say shit to you because they think that you agree with them, right? Right. When there are no black people around or no minorities around, they'll say shit like, can you believe it?
Oh my God. That's the thing that gets me. Any white person that says we're in a post-racial America, I'm like, oh, come on. We've all been in white circles. We all know what's said about black people, about immigrants, about Jews, etc. I mean, I've been a privileged white woman and in those circles, and at first it's just a part of your life. You just hear it and it's a whisper because it's not okay to say it. And then you start providing, you start learning, you go to college, you're around people of different colors, different races, you start traveling, and then you start to realize, oh my God. And it's a process of opening your eyes and finding enlightenment on it. And that's why Pumps and I are just so adamant, because I do believe we're moving some white women. Because I'll tell you this, Lemon Nation, when I'm on an airplane, and a lot of times when I'm in Oklahoma City, they come up and now they're whispering, I love everything you're doing. I agree with 100% of what you're saying. Keep it up. And so I think a lot of people probably hate listened to us in the beginning because, let's face it, we look more like we would be on Fox News than we would be spitting facts about, equality and standing up for the marginalized. And so that's kind of a mind fuck at first, but then they start listening to us. And I've had a lot of friends that were kind of maybe, center right people who are swinging, and they're coming over and saying, a lot of stuff that you and Pumps are saying is making sense. And so I think these spaces are really important. I think that white people being allies is incredibly important because of exactly what Don said, that if a lot of stuff that he says, then it just like they're going to call me ugly. They're going to call you this race hustler and all of this stuff. But this fight for civil rights and stuff, I mean, it's just still going. And I want to be the person I remember when I watched in high school, I saw the footage of remember when they would bring the TV in with the VCR and you'd be like, oh,
The
good. we
roller,
watch
the
videos
roller.
today, right? And I remember we watched something on the civil rights. And I remember watching this video. It's probably like 10th grade, 9th grade, of these Black soldiers that came home from Vietnam. And then they were like hosed and victims of racism and all of this stuff. And I remember just thinking, oh my God, how can that happen? And so I think every day, right now, what we're doing is going to be recorded. Everything this historical, and especially with all the phones and stuff, are you going to be the person that's spraying water and spitting on Black people and spitting on marginalized people? Are you going to be the person that stands with them and fights with them? You're going to be a person that grabs their hands and walks across the bridge with them. And I'm not a religious person, but I feel a moral calling to do that. And I was raised by 2 atheists. And because my mother it's really easy when you live in white evangelical America to see how just racist. I mean, the KKK was a white evangelical movement. And so it was very easy to see how just the moral rot of white evangelical America. And so I always found myself, like in college, all my best friends were gay, and raising my kids, all my best friends that I related to the most were Black women, because that white evangelical, white supremacist culture, that just doesn't do anything for me. It's boring and mean.
I got to tell you,
I've had it.
I got to tell you though, like when you go to hang out with like Black people or Latino people, we do make things more fun. It's fun.
It's a million times more fun.
It's fun.
It's a million times more fun. I cannot even begin to tell you, like when my husband Josh and I, when we go to dinner with our friends, the woman I was talking about, Monique, and her husband, Stephen Alexander, it's just, we laugh more. It's more fun. It's just, America needs this multiculturalism, and we need to embrace it, and we need to fight for the people that get picked on the most from capitalism and from these white structures, because this is a cool experiment. And are we going to cede it to Kankle's McTaco Tits, Dawn? That we're going to lose our country for that?
No.
With this coloring book project in the Oval, Little Miss Marie Antoinette wannabe. I mean, come on, people. We can't do that.
Jen Welch, I love it. Kankle's McTaco Tits. How'd you come up with that shit?
I don't know. Here's the deal, Don. When I start going, it just comes, and then yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. We were supposed to spend like 20, 25 minutes together, but oh well.
Because Don, we're soulmates.
All right.
You and me.
Know. I love you. You know that.
I love you.
Can you give that lady that I love also pumps mixed sugar lady, mixed sugar tits? I'm gonna get you.
Mixed sugar tits. She's got, she calls her boobs the sagging dragons. I'll tell Little Miss.
Pumps is gonna kill us.
No, she loves it. The Pumps give a fuck meter is more broken than mine is. That's what's so great about her.
You guys have got to watch the I've Had It podcast. You guys already know they're great with Jen, and then Angie Pump Sullivan is on there. Jennifer Welch, Angie Pump Sullivan. You got to watch it. They're great. Jen, I love you so much, and everything is good with your family. You had an emergency. I didn't say what it was, but it's all good, right?
All good. Yeah. The child had like a weird abscess thing, and we went and got it drained. And I'm dropping him off, my youngest, at school. And you guys, I'm going to be free. I'm probably going to be sad for 2 days and cry, but then I am going to be liberated. No more kid jail for Jennifer.
Are you going to be like an empty nester?
Yes.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'll have to come down to Oklahoma and hang, maybe.
You know that your husband has helped me find an apartment in New York, Dawn.
I know. I didn't want to share that. I'm not sure how much you wanted to share.
No, because we're going to hang out. We're going to make Instagram footage together for the Lemon Nation.
Yeah, Jen is getting an apartment in New York. My husband does real estate, and he's helping her get an apartment here. So, yeah, we know way too much about each other that we won't share here. Yes. That's why I know she's hot and sexy, and she loves Celine. All right, Jen.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me, Dawn.
Bye. Next time we'll talk about this Laura Loomer fight with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not sure if you heard about that one.
tap the vein, tapped it, inject that drama straight into these liberal veins. Can't wait for it. Bye, Lemon Nation. Bye, Dawn. I love you.
Bye, Jen. I love you. Bye. Thank you so much. Oh my God, she's amazing. That is the Jennifer Welch. She's only supposed to join us for a little bit. So listen, let me get this ad break in because it's really important. It's things that are good for you and products and services that we believe in here on the Don Lemon Show. Okay, so support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from ZBiotics, and I have to tell you about this game changer for nights out. ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol is what it's called. It is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic created by PhD scientists to help you feel better the next morning after drinking. Here's how it works, okay? When you drink, your body creates a toxic byproduct in your gut. It is that causes those rough mornings after drinking. So ZBiotics produces an enzyme that breaks it all down. I first tried it before a summer dinner party, and the next morning, felt great. I told you guys about it. I was sharp, energized, and ready for work. So make it your first drink of the night. Enjoy responsibly and wake up ready to live your best life. Okay, go to zbiotics.com/lemon and get 15% off of your first order with the code LEMON, backed by a 100% money back guarantee. zbiotics.com/lemon. Okay, the promo code is LEMON, 15% off of your first order. Support also comes from this. Another product that we use here. Support for the Don Lemon Show today comes from Shopify. So when I started this show, it was just a dream. Shopify turned into a business. Shopify is the commerce platform powering millions of businesses and 10% of all U.S. e-commerce, from household names to brand new ventures, which are adventures as well. So we use Shopify here at the Don Lemon Show to bring you the merch that you love, that we love. It's got templates, AI tools to help with product descriptions, and even marketing campaigns. So if you're stuck, their 24/7 award-winning customer support is there. So turn your dreams into ka-ching with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/lemon. That's shopify.com/lemon. Shopify.com/lemon, and turn your dreams into. So thank you to Shopify and all of our sponsors. Okay, so let's talk about some hot topics, okay? So Jen, by the way, send me some text in the chat. How much do you love Jennifer Welch? And now you know why the folks like the Gutterfells or Gutfells, now you know why they hate her. Because she is, she said it resonates with them because she's pointing out something that's in them and they know it's there, but they don't want to admit it. So it pisses them off to no end, right? So let's talk about this. Now, producers, where should I start? Should I start with the clip or the tweet? The clip, right? Okay. I wish I had. The girls are fighting. So the girls are fighting. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer are having a fight. Okay. So here's Laura Loomer, and then we'll talk about the Marjorie Taylor. Let's talk about the tweet. Or maybe it's Marjorie Taylor Greene, but here's the clip. Here it is.
Loomer is another one that has relentless attacked me. Many other America First Republicans like Matt Gaetz.
Did she just say relentless attacked me? I think she did. Okay, here it is.
Laura Loomer is another one that has relentless attacked me. Many other America First Republicans like Matt Gaetz and many other members of Congress. As a matter of fact, the only people she attacks are Republicans. And Laura Loomer touts herself as, basically testing everyone for loyalty. But the truth about Laura Loomer is she scrapes up information and then she twists it and manipulates her stories to basically be the same manuscript of information like MSNBC does.
Relentless. Oh my gosh. Thank you for creating a new word. Relentless. Holy shamoly. I love that. Put my relentless up there. Okay, so you heard what she said. She's talking about how she believes that Laura Loomer attacks. All right. So this is what Laura Loomer tweeted about Oof. I wish Marjorie Taylor Greene got on her knees for her Lord and Savior as much as she got on her knees for men who aren't her husband. Just another fake Christian. Can you call yourself a Christian when your mouth is full of other men's roosters? Caulks? Caulk. C-A-W-K. Caulk. I mean, I may be Jewish, but at least I'm not a Jezebel. And then Laura Loomer said, it was the Jews who made Marjorie Taylor Greene cheat on her husband in the back room of a CrossFit gym. The Zionists forcefully opened her legs and made her destroy her family. They made her ruin a marriage. What the fuck why are these like MAGA women all coming for each other? They're losing their minds. It's crazy. Crazy. Okay. So if you want to know anything about the show, go to donlemon.com. And I'm going to tell you what we're doing tonight. And I have to get myself together, guys, because I'm doing a show tonight at City Winery. And I haven't gotten a haircut. I haven't written my script, but I'm going to be okay. So look, if you want to know anything about the show, go to donlemon.com. You can click on our merch store there. You can get our merch. You can get any information about the show, where it is streamed, where you can watch it, where you can hear it, and how you can become a member as well. Okay. So if you go on watch right there, it'll take you to our main page on the YouTube. That's our main show. And then you can click on either subscribe to the content or join, and then hit the store button, manage videos. This is our thing here. So you don't want to click on that, right? Anyway, so this is our main page here. So this has all the information about our show on there. So this is our private stuff, but you can just go click on that, and there's the merch. Okay. And then tonight at City Winery, tonight, DL Hughley and I are going to do DL and DL. Episode 2 happens tonight. Doors open at 6. 7:30 is when DL and I will start. We have a special guest that you wait till you hear who it is. And if you're not there, you're going to miss out. And then tomorrow, because of this show was sold out, tomorrow they added another show. That show is not sold out, so there are still tickets available. So you can go check that out. The second show is added. Just go click on the buy tickets thing and whatever, and you can, and then special guests as well on Wednesday night. Okay. So Lemon Nation, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the program today. There was so much that we did not get to. And we had some stuff where we decided we weren't going to put like people screaming, on cable news for you to see. So we needed a break today. We needed Jennifer Welch. We needed what we got. Okay. Is this Pete Hegseth on Laura Loomer? Is that what's going on here? Tell me. What is that? What is that?
No, Ingram.
Oh, yeah. Nah. Hard pass. Okay, guys. So I'll see you back here live at 5 on the Don Lemon Show, on the Don Lemon Show channel. And then I'll see you tonight at City Winery if you have tickets. And then if not, I'll see you Wednesday night at City Winery if you have tickets. But then we have a lot of time to go before then. Okay, so until then, you can be informed without being inundated. So until I see you back here live at 5 on the Don Lemon Show and the Don Lemon Show channel, turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.